Hello, how are you doing today? I'm so glad to have you here with me. If you feel like you're doing everything right now that you possibly can, and that it's having absolutely no impact, that you're still being overlooked, it's not because you're not enough. It's because you haven't activated your brilliance. And today we're going to change that. You don't need a new strategy. You need the spark. You need the spark that's going to ignite the message for the specific person that you're going to be talking to. That spark that's going to move you from invisible to visible, to visible and valuable, and from that, unforgettable. Are you ready for that? Let's jump in. Hi, my name's Steve Kidd. I am a third generation minister, an international best-selling author of 37 books and counting. I help people write, publish, market their books to bestseller. I've helped essentially 5,000 people do that. But really, the heart and soul and core of what I really do is I help you be seen. I help you be the authority, to claim your authority. Be the authority, be seen, be heard, and absolutely from that, learn how to get paid. You are amazing. I know it. You have an impactful, world changing, life changing, transformational message that the world absolutely needs. And today is the day. Now is the time. We cannot wait. The world needs it more than they ever have before. They need absolutely, specifically, and exactly you. And today is the day. We're not going to wait until tomorrow. We're not going to worry about anything that we did in the past or didn't do in the past. It's gone. It's over. No need to lick our wounds. No need to beat ourselves up for anything. Today is the day for action and activation, and we are going to take action on our 3 C's. So for those of you who maybe didn't listen yesterday, haven't been listening the last couple of weeks, let me outline clearly to you what the 3 pillars of visibility and authority are. They are clarity, consistency, and connection. Clarity, consistency, and connection. You need to be clear. Your message needs to be there where people are in a clear and resonant way. And it needs to be there where people are on a regular, consistent, predictable basis. People need to know, when are you going to post? When are you going to go live? They need to see your bright, shiny face. They need to hear your voice. It's time to do away with all of the self-doubt that we all have, all of the self-judgment of, when I lose a little more weight, right? When I, make a little bit more money, when I've gone a little further, after I get this next thing done. I can tell you from experience, if you wait for the what's going to happen is you're going to slowly slide back and back and back until you'll be at a place where you either desperately have to do it or you have to transition. And the thing about the transition to something else is you could go and get another job. Absolutely. People will pay you. You're an expert at what you do, and you can probably even make great money. And there are often, for all of us, days that we're like, oh my gosh, why am I working as an entrepreneur when I can get paid really well doing other things? But this is the heart and soul and core and passion of who you are. And so, yes, you can make that change, but you are not going to get rid of that fire, that passion, that heart and soul and core of who you are. It's going to come out. And so it isn't a question of if you should do this. It's a question of, when are you going to be clear, be consistent, so that you connect to that person you're meant to change. And you notice I always just use it as that one person. Let's just focus on the one person. I don't care if my person joins me today live. I'd love it if you did, or if it's 10 years from now that they hear this. And yeah, I know Facebook's changing their algorithm, and that's why I've got this in multiple different places so that people can get to it. And that's why I keep continuing to repurpose it into short little clips so that you can get little tastes of things and you can get the powerful, impactful messaging that you need when you see it in a way that you need it, clearly, concisely, consistently. You know that I'm here for you. I want to connect with you, not so that I can get rich. I mean, yeah, I want to make money. I like paying for things. I use 99.9% of the money that I make to help other people, to pay my people that work as consultants for me, as contractors for me, to pay them really well and to take good care of them. And I'm concerned about that. I mean, I'm in a pretty good place in life where I could, just coast, but I don't want to coast. I want to step up. I want to do even more. And I know you do too. I know you feel that clearly. So, clarity, consistency, and connection. Let's dive into activating them. What does it take to activate your clarity? That's that magnetic part of your message. What do you need to do to draw people to you, to be magnetic, to be unforgettable, to be the thing that resonates with them to the point where they're like, "Oh yeah, he said it exactly the way that I needed to hear it so that I can be the change. I can make the difference that I need to make." You see, you're great at a whole bunch of things. I know you are. Okay. And there are many different ways you can go. But as we've talked about in times previously, and go back a few days, if you haven't heard that, you need to hear this. You need to understand that out of everything that you do, it all has a core element to it. There is a core heart and soul to who you are, and it's shown up in everything that you've done for your entire life. Back when you were a small child, maybe you were a big giver, maybe you were out on the street with a lemonade stand. Maybe you were, that kid that all of your friends came to. Not in the Charlie Brown way where Lucy, has her, psychiatrist booth, but in that way where they legitimately knew they could count on you. And it's shown back up throughout the entirety of your life. You've had bosses that have told you that, one of the things that they need to do. I remember I had a boss tell me that they needed to add to the name on the company that Ann Steve's counseling service, because people just knew they could come to me. They knew I was there for them. They felt the heart and soul and core and compassion of what I did. And the others, as they came in and out of the company, they knew, or when they came to somebody for a situation, a problem, something that they needed to talk through, they knew they would hear from the other people, "Oh yeah, you need to go talk to Steve. He's totally cool to talk to. Let's sit down. Let's sit down with him, and he'll take care of you. He will get to the bottom of things for and with you. Absolutely." And that's been showing up my whole life. That's why I'm here today, to be there for you, because that's the person that I am. You need to have that clarity, not the what are the 500 things that you can do, not what are the 20 programs. I mean, I've worked with a lot of coaches, both, from the standpoint of doing their book to the standpoint of being one of the people in their class, and, and being friends with them, all the different multiple levels that you can get to know somebody that's a coach. I've been on all of those different levels, from people that you've never heard of to people that literally, one of my friends was until he passed away a couple of years ago, was a multi-billionaire. The guy had started and sold off 47 companies with no failures, 47-0 in business, and was a multi-billionaire, having the company that he was currently running be a $10 billion a year company. $10 billion annually he was making. And I was blessed to call him a friend of mine, and all the way in between those. And I don't bring that up to brag, I mean, I was fortunate to have him as a friend. But the thing that I know clearly that they want you to do is to be clear on who you are. And unfortunately, in some of their cases, they, and it is an arrow, my billionaire friend, he was very good at being crystal clear and really helping her person, me included, hone in on this is the heart and soul and core of who you are and what you do. But often in coaching space, we get coaches that tell us, let's create your low ticket offer, and let's create your mid ticket offer, and let's create your high ticket offer. What's your done for you program? What's your done with you program? What's your do it yourself program? And if you go to my website right now, you know that over the course of the last 38 years, 17 of which I've been in, author space, authority space, making you visible specifically. All of those really, I've been helping people be seen, be heard, be the known authority in their space. Okay. And so you can go to my site and you can see the done for you, done with you, do it yourself, break it down in both book space as well as the marketing space. And we did that to be really, truly clear. And so that you can really see us as the authority. ThrivingBestsellers.com. Check out my new website. I absolutely love it. I'm thrilled with it. Yeah, shameless plug, not because I'm needing you to go to my website, but just because I really do love my new website really a lot. But here's the thing. It has to be clear. And so you need to start off with what is the one thing that I can say to the one person that's going to make the one difference. And you need to just be clear on that message. You could come out and do a Facebook Live every day and be all over the board. You could share 50,000 things, but that doesn't let people know what to hook onto. I want you to know I am here to make you the authority, to teach you how to magnetize media, how to reach that one person with that one message clearly, concisely, consistently, to connect to them, to be the change, to show them the change so that they make the difference in this world that only they can make. Because when we do all of these things, when we talk about everything that we can do, and I've been guilty of it. I mean, recently, I'm trying really hard, to go live to you every day to show you consistency and to just keep talking about this same thing over and over again. Different angles, but the same thing. Visibility equals valuability, clarity, consistency, connection. Over and over and over again, you're going to hear me say those things, and you're going to hear me hone and get even clearer on them as I bring these out to you every single time so that you know that one thing. Because the multiple things, what about this, what about that, the throwing stuff up against the wall to see what sticks, that's hiding you. You want to know why you're unseen? It's because you're saying too many things. If you're going to make a pivot, make a pivot. Just do it. My good friend Molly Mahoney, who once upon a time, and her company is still called The Prepared Performer. And she was totally in the space of teaching people how to just get on camera. Her company, their main program was called Consistency on Camera, or Camera Confidence, rather. Camera Confidence, or Confidence on Camera, whichever way she said it. Okay. And over the course of the last decade that she's been a coach and growing her business, AI's come out, and she really loved AI and she was using it, and people started asking her how to do that. And she has pivoted to being most of the signature talks she does, most of the conferences that she's at, all those kind of things. She's now, one of the gurus in AI space, in how to create prompts and how to do all those things. And she's got a cool thing coming up this week, that's going to show you how to be able to make your own AI based, like little app or tool or whatever it is. Okay. But when she made the pivot, she actually shut down one of her high ticket program, in fact, and went all in on that. And really, when, she has another program that's still in there, but you don't really hear her ever pitch that program anymore. It's all about AI, 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 AI. You see, that consistency brings you in the more and more people, because then when you want to do, a training on something in that space, you can go out to your people, and your people are used to hearing you say that, and they're waiting for you to say, here's the next thing, here's the next really cool AI program came out and I was playing with it the other day. Okay, that's why I want you to know consistently, clearly, that I'm talking to you about clarity, consistency, and connection, because I want you to be the known, seen, visible, and valuable authority in your space. Okay, so for clarity, I want you to go live today. Okay, go live now. Don't go live tomorrow. Don't make a plan for next week. Don't wait until next Monday. Go live today. And I want you to just say, I want to be known for. Your prompt is, what do you want to be known for? Say it in one bold sentence. I want to be known as. I want to be known for. Okay, so for me, I want to be known as the person who's going to make you visible and valuable, the authority in your space, by being clear, consistent, and making the connections. Okay, one bold statement: identity ownership. Own who you are and do it live. Do it, in a video. Put it out on Instagram, TikTok, whatever. Just pick it up and say it. Okay. And then for consistency, and we've talked a lot about that. I've been, interspersing consistency and clarity and connection today on purpose, versus going, let's talk only about clarity. Let's talk only about consistency, because they're intertwined. They're like this. They're what makes you the strong fist. And yeah, you got to tuck that thumb back in or you break your thumb, right? Okay. They're what allows you to throw that solid punch. Is clarity, consistency, connection together. Not as, figure out clarity and then figure out consistency. No, you need to go out today and you need to block off in your calendar every single day. I blocked off a whole hour. You need to block off at least 10 minutes. Time to prepare what you're going to do, time to do it, time to follow up. You need to set aside some time other than that you're inviting people to come to your group or, follow you here or there or whatever. You need to be connecting with people. Clarity, consistency, connection. If you just come out on a Facebook Live and nobody happens to listen to you live for whatever reason, there could be major catastrophes happening in the world. I don't know. The news is on out in the other room. My brother and my mom are watching it. I don't care. Because I want to come in here and talk to you about being clear, concise, consistent, connect. I want to talk to you about clarity, consistency, connection, right? So consistency, you got to block off the time and you need to be there. They need to know when to expect you. They need to know, if I come to his site, there's today, yesterday, last week, last month, every single one of those. Now, if every single day is too much for you, and I understand that starting out it might be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, that would be the least. I suppose I could really let you off the hook and go Tuesday and Thursday. But even really doing that, I can tell you, after a decade and a half of having a radio show, that what sets a radio show apart, what sets your podcast apart, is your capability to do it consistently and be there. And years after other people that started with you wouldn't ever want to do another podcast, or they've done 2 or 3 different topics, you're still there, still running the same thing. That consistency breeds what you need. It gives you the impact and the power, the powerful juice that you need to be seen, be known, and be heard. Okay? For most of you, you probably are posting enough on social media. When it really comes to consistency, you may be doing a post every day. The question, going back to what we said in clarity, is, are you posting about the same thing every day? And are you doing it in a way that allows people to connect with you? That's why I keep talking to you about video, about doing a short. That's why I keep giving you clips that you can just go blah, 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 blah to whatever the prompt is. And I'm giving you 3 of them a day. So you've got 3 5 to 15-second clips that you could be doing every single day just by listening to me and going, okay, Steve's going to tell me exactly what to post today. Okay. I'm going to block off the 2:00 Central Time hour because I know at noon Central, Steve's going to go live and he's going to give me 3 posts. And I know that Steve talks too much. And so he's going to be on live for, somewhere in the neighborhood of half an hour. And I'll have to probably, wait until I may have to be a day behind him so that I can get the transcript and I can throw it into Chat GPT and say, based on what Steve said in here, what are the prompts that he gave us, so that I can go out and I can spend my 10 minutes doing my 3 prompts. Okay. Consistently, you're doing it. Get her done. Let's do it, man. Consistency. You need to show up consistently, but you need to show up on purpose. That clarity and consistency cannot be separated from each other, because you need to consistently give out that clear message that connects you to people. These aren't 3 separate things. These are the thing. These are all together so that you do it all the time. And that's what makes you visible and valuable. That's how you become the authority. Your audience has to count on you. If they can't count on you, they're not going to convert. They're not going to buy into what you do if they can't count on you. If they don't know exactly when you're going to be around, exactly what you're doing, what you're going to talk about, what you're going to post about. If your posts are, one time you're posting what you're having for lunch and the next day you're asking them to buy a thing. We talked about this a couple of days ago. The old rule of thumb is that you need to give 9 times for every 1 time you ask. I think that's old school. I think you really need to be looking at giving 99 times for every 1 time you ask. Okay, so the question becomes, do you want to intricately be in groups that are people that are just like you, your people, your jam, your, whatever you're into? It could be cooking, gardening, walking, whatever. Just be in communities like that and just give value 99 times. Join 10 groups and make 9, join 10 groups and make 10 posts. Okay. If you did that every day, Gary Vee was talking about you need to post 60 times a day. If you're going to only do 10 a day, if you're only going to do 1 a day, you're talking about every 3 months, you should be asking for something. If you want to ask for something every day, it means you need to post 100 times a day. Now, I'm not talking about inviting people to be part of your free group. I'm not talking about saying, hey, when somebody asks a question, giving them the answer to that question. Absolutely, you want to. And I'm not talking about when they come back at you and say, oh, that's really cool. How did you learn that? Or, and they engage with you. Take that conversation further. Go to the point where you can, just as the normal part of conversation, you can say, hey, that's what I do. I'd love to invite you to come to my group. Hey, that's what I do. Would you like to hop on Zoom and talk through it and see if there's something I can do to help you? Give, 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 give. Okay? We got to get back to conversations. We got to move social media back into being truly social and not just being a place where, people are running into the room and screaming, hey, who wants to buy my stuff? People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Pour into them and they will want what you've got. Okay, prompt number 2. What is your minimum commitment? I want you to go out and I want you to say it. I'm going to go live for 5 minutes every day. I'm going to go live for 5 minutes every other day. Okay, that's the least I'm going to let you get away with. Because if you're not going out at least every other day, then it's not going to do anything. If you just absolutely are going to fight me on it, then you need to do both posts and emails. Okay, and they need to be consistent. And the post needs to be very specifically thought through, thought out, and you need to be leading the people, giving them powerful information. And especially if you're going to be posting, then absolutely, positively, I know I just made that word up, didn't I? You absolutely have to be in a massive amount of groups, adding value so that the people want to come to your page and see what the heck you're all about. Your personal profile. Go live, share your commitment. Right now, starting today, I am going to tell us what you're going to do, and then do it. Tell the world. That's how you're going to connect. People don't care if you're perfect. I made up words during this particular thing. I faux pas all the time. I use and and like, and all of those kind of things constantly. Nobody cares. I used to be really hung up on it. I can tell you, because I got some people that were like, oh no, you need to make sure that you're not using filler words and you need to practice it. And I was all up in my head as to how often am I using, because I use, a lot, in case you hadn't noticed it. It's probably a drinking game for somebody out there. And then I was on, and like you said, they watch news all day, all the time. I was watching a very highly regarded multimillionaire host on Fox News. Okay, now I don't care whether you like Fox News or not, but you're talking about a guy that's getting paid tens of millions of dollars a year to talk to the camera. And because I was so mindful of it in that space at that point, I heard all of the filler terms that they used, all the ands and the ums and those kind of things. High end, highly regarded, has done some amazing things in the world, has multiple #1 international best-selling books, New York Times bestsellers, all of that kind of stuff. Uses filler words too. People don't care about your perfection. They want to know who you are, what you're about, and they want to know what's in it for me. They want you to connect heart to heart, soul to soul, idea, concept to you. Because the world needs you. You're the only you that's ever going to be you. And we need you to be putting out, connecting, sparking, bonfire beginning content that's clear, that's coming consistently, and that connects with people so that they can see themselves in it and they can make the difference in the world that they're meant to make, so that you can make the difference that only you can make, because you are the expert. You are uniquely brilliant. You were created for a purpose. And absolutely, that one person absolutely, totally, completely needs you. You need to move from reacting to what's happening, following trends, posting random stuff, to being relevant and ready when they are. Just show up in their space. Yes, be even just a little bit in their face, so that when they're ready, they will say, hey, I wasn't ready before, but this is the person that I've got to work with. And they're going to tap you on the shoulder and they're going to say, hey, I need help. And you're going to be there to help them. And you're going to make the difference that only you can make. Please come join our group. We want to get you visible, make you valuable, teach you how to be clear, concise, powerful, consistent, that connects your heart to the heart of the person you want to reach and serve. So come join us in the group. Let us work with you. It's a free group. I'm not selling you anything. I just want to see you make the difference in this world that only you can make. And on behalf of the person that you're going to reach, thank you so much. I appreciate you doing it. Thanks for joining me today. And I hope that until we're together again next time, tomorrow, that you have a great week.